The evolving dynamics between Warsaw and Berlin could well be the plot of a blockbuster drama amidst Poland's rising prominence. Indeed, Germany finds itself in a tricky spot, witnessing Poland's rise not just as a feel-good story, but also as a challenge to its own status in Central Europe. And Germany's apprehension isn't unfounded. Once in the shadows, Poland is now taking center stage economically, militarily, and geopolitically, surprising Germany, the traditional European lead. This shift, marked by Poland's growth and assertiveness, is reshaping Central Europe's power dynamics, challenging the long-standing hierarchy and bringing back old grievances. Yes, the scars of history, notably Nazi Germany's invasion of Poland in 1939, which resulted in catastrophic loss of life, affecting over 20% of Poland's population, continue to influence the Polish political landscape and relations with Germany. There is, however, also another side to this story, the German side. You see, the aftermath of World War II saw significant territorial and political shifts across Europe. Joseph Stalin's strategic victories and subsequent influence over Eastern Europe reshaped the continent. And despite promises of a robust, independent Poland, Stalin's geopolitical maneuvers led to Poland losing substantial territories to the Soviet Union. This, though, was compounded by the division of Germany into East and West, marking the beginning of a new era of Soviet dominance in the region. Amidst all this, Poland was also granted regions of Eastern Germany as a form of compensation. These new borders still stand as a tangible reminder of the Allies' decisions in redrawing Europe's post-war landscape and continue to impact relations between Germany and Poland till this day. The aftermath of these adjustments was marked by significant, often forgotten, violent population movements. Germans were uprooted from territories now part of Poland, while Poles from areas annexed by the Soviet Union found new homes in these lands. This era of resettlement not only reopened historical wounds, but also deepened the emotional and complex ties between the peoples of these regions. The 1970 Treaty of Warsaw, recognizing new borders, began healing the rift between Poland and West Germany, despite Poland's unresolved feelings over past injustices and disputed reparations, some of which were diverted to the Soviet Union. The end of communism and Germany's subsequent reunification in 1990 marked a significant shift, further improving relations and leading to the 2+4 agreement that restored Germany's full sovereignty. However, here is where things get interesting. The post-communist era revealed Poland not just as a neighbor emerging from Germany's shadow, but also as a geopolitical and economic rival. The subsequent Polish economic miracle showcases a nation that has leveraged its strategic position and resources to become a dynamic force within Europe. Despite the historical complexities and challenges in Polish-German relations, Poland's economic transformation has been remarkable. It has navigated the transition from a centrally planned economy to a market-oriented one with astounding success, maintaining steady growth even during periods when other European nations faltered, such as the 2008 financial crisis. This economic resurgence has positioned Poland as a vital player in the European market, occasionally putting it at odds with Germany, as both vie for influence and opportunities within the EU and beyond. Poland's meteoric rise challenges the historical narrative of it being merely a recipient of German influence or assistance, highlighting a competitive edge that has reshaped not only its destiny, but also its interactions with Germany and the broader European community. This evolving dynamic reflects a complex interplay of historical legacies, economic aspirations, and the ongoing quest for a balanced relationship that respects the past while navigating the future. Additionally, Poland's political shifts under the previous government signal a re-evaluation of its stance towards Germany. The Nationalist Law and Justice Party, PIS, rising to power in 2015, initiated a campaign to reassess Poland's World War II losses at approximately $1.3 trillion, attributed to German aggression. Needless to say, an official request for reparations in October 2022, reigniting tensions between Warsaw and Berlin. German officials have responded to these renewed demands with a defensive stance, emphasizing that the focus appears to be disproportionately on Berlin rather than Moscow, despite what they see as a greater Soviet responsibility for the region's post-war conditions. From Germany's perspective, the matter of financial reparations related to the war has been conclusively resolved. Yet, the Nationalist Law and Justice Party, PIS, remains steadfast in its conviction that the narrative of Poland's suffering during the war remains incomplete without Germany's acknowledgement and compensation, all while accusing Berlin of wielding disproportionate influence over European Union policies. Marcin Romanowski, Poland's former Deputy Minister of Justice, went as far as suggesting that German influence within the EU amounts to establishing a Fourth Reich, a controversial comparison that seeks to equate current EU dynamics with historical Nazi ambitions for dominance. Such rhetoric is indicative of of PIS's willingness to use historically loaded language to challenge Germany, revealing a disregard for the repercussions this might have on bilateral relations. And this is a problem for Germany. From Berlin's perspective, Warsaw's actions under the rule of PIS are seen as reactivating a narrative of victimhood, possibly to gain political traction. Interestingly, this resurgence aligned with the scheduling of Poland's parliamentary elections that took place in October 2023, suggesting to some observers in Germany that PIS was leveraging historical grievances as a strategy to consolidate support among voters. Jana Puglierin, leading the Berlin office of the European Council on Foreign Relations, interprets these maneuvers as prioritizing electoral victory over maintaining a healthy dialogue with Germany. This perspective is reinforced by statements from PIS party leader Jarosław Kaczynski, who positions Poland as a bulwark against German-Russian ambitions in Europe, emphasizing Poland's role as an independent and strong nation that disrupts these alleged plans. This political posturing, aimed at asserting dominance, threatens to deepen divisions within the European Union, potentially reviving a dichotomy between East and West. However, this time, the fissure could extend across national borders, challenging the cohesion of the bloc as a whole and testing the limits of European unity. What's more, in today's foreign policy landscape, tensions are high, especially between Poland and Germany, against the backdrop of the conflict in Ukraine. Poland criticizes Germany for what it sees as a weak response to Russia's aggression in Ukraine, arguing that Germany is too close to Russia and has been hesitant in its actions. German officials counter by pointing out Poland's own reliance on Russian energy before the war, suggesting that Poland is also complicit. It almost feels like a schoolyard squabble. Adding to the complexity, German soldiers have been stationed in eastern Poland since January 2023 to operate Patriot missile defense systems. This move, part of NATO's efforts to strengthen its eastern flank, marks a significant German military presence in Poland for the first time since World War II. This deployment has stirred historical memories and has been used politically in both countries to stoke nationalist sentiments. Under the governance of the Law and Justice Party, PIS, Poland had been drifting from its Western European allies, seeking closer ties with Eastern European nations like Hungary, where shared political ideologies and mutual support in foreign policy disputes within the EU with leaders such as Viktor Orban were evident. Both countries stood in opposition to what they viewed as German dominance in Europe, positioning themselves as guardians of traditional European values against liberal influences. However, the political landscape in Poland shifted with Donald Tusk's return to the prime ministerial office following a victory in the October 2023 parliamentary elections. Tusk's leadership marked a political shift towards Western Europe, despite PIS loyalists, now in opposition, often accusing him of being too close to Germany, even labeling him a German agent. These accusations reflect the deep divisions within Polish politics and society over the nation's direction and alliances, as well as deep distrust of Germany. Which brings us to why many in Poland see Germany as being so apprehensive towards Poland's ascent as a formidable military, economic, and geopolitical entity in Europe. Economically, Poland's remarkable growth, often referred to as the Polish economic miracle, has positioned it as a key competitor within the European market. This rapid development challenges Germany's economic dominance in the region, particularly in sectors where both nations compete directly for market share and investment. Militarily, Poland's significant investments in defense and its active role in regional security initiatives have underscored its commitment to becoming a central military power in Europe. This shift, coupled with Poland's strategic partnerships beyond the EU, including closer ties with the United States, has raised concerns in Germany about the balance of military power and influence within NATO and the broader European security architecture. Geopolitically, Poland's assertive foreign policy stance, especially under the leadership of Prime Minister Donald Tusk and Foreign Minister Radek Sikorski, who seek to strengthen Poland's ties with Western Europe while maintaining a firm position on key issues like Ukraine, has signaled a new era of Polish influence in Central Europe. This resurgence and assertiveness in Poland's foreign policy are seen by some in Germany as a challenge to the existing order, where Germany has traditionally played a leading role in shaping EU policy and strategy. The growing influence of Poland, particularly its ability to galvanize support among other Central and Eastern European countries, threatens to alter the dynamics of EU decision-making processes and reduce Germany's unilateral ability to steer the bloc's agenda, especially in matters relating to EU expansion, defense, and relations with Russia. For more on Poland, check out our next video exploring if Poland is becoming a European superpower.